Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, buyers held ES above the 22 support. From there, the market balanced and then broke out to the upside and got very close to that 39 to 42 resistance that we had. At this point, heading into the open, we have that resistance zone adjusted down a little bit at 38.75 to 41.75, and that's going to serve as the bull bear zone as well. So as long as ES is holding below that area, we know that the bigger structure can remain intact and we can still test some lower prices. But if we break out above 38.75 to 41.75, that would be a bullish confirmation. And from there, we could go up to 46 to 48, and then from there, test 50 half and the 51.75 to 53.75. So in the event that the market does attempt to break out above 38.75 to 41.75, we will have to watch and see whether there is broad market strength and sustained upside momentum, because in order for a breakout to succeed, we are going to have to see sustained upside momentum on the NYC tick. And if there's not really a whole lot of momentum behind the move, or if the market continues to struggle around the 38.75 to 41.75, and poking above it by a tick or two is not going to make that big of a difference. It has to be a proper breakout. If we're not seeing a proper breakout above the initial resistance zone, the bull bear zone, then we can just continue balancing within the recent range. But if we do break out on pretty decent upside momentum, then we don't necessarily have to stop at 46.48. We could head up into the 51.75 to 53.75 resistance, and that would still be an area where sellers can be active. On the downside, we have initial support at 26 quarter, 28.75. That's the area that's going to help us establish the short-term bias as well, because that's the overnight breakout area. And if we fail at initial support, then we can quite easily test the overnight low at the 20 quarter to 22 quarter zone. And then if that zone doesn't hold, then it becomes a bearish confirmation that now the sellers are back in control, and that would be in alignment with the larger time frame bearish pattern. So if we do head down and we take out 20 quarter, 22 quarter, then from there we can quite easily go down and test the 16.75 level, and then finally the 21.07.75 to 21.10.75 would then be possible as well. But given that it's a Friday, we don't necessarily have to make big moves one way or the other. And right now the main question is how the market is going to respond to 38.75 to 41.75. That is really the larger time frame area of resistance that's in play. And how ES responds to the initial resistance zone is really going to help set the tone going forward. If we continue holding below it, then we're just trading within a range at that point, and we can continue balancing within the recent couple of days range here. And if we take it out swiftly with upside momentum and some decent values on the tick, then perhaps we do head up towards the 50 and 51.75 to 53.75, and then that area can slow down the price action and kind of cap it off. So this 38.75 to 41.75 is really going to be a key zone. We have the current developing HVN of the recent 2 to 3 day balance area at 34.5. So if we start to hold below that, below yesterday's high, these are things that would signal the sellers stepping in. So far, the market pulled back towards 32 quarter and then bounced and is bouncing again. So in the event of a rejection and failure at 38.75 to 41.75, we would have to see the market coming back into yesterday's range. And then if we take out 26 quarter, 28.75, that becomes a bearish confirmation. From there, if we take out 20 quarter, 22 quarter, then that really seals the deal, and the sell side can really step in at that point, and then it would be possible to test yesterday's low at 07.75 to 10.75, and then buyers can still defend that area, and we can continue balancing in the recent range. So on the upside, this is the main spot to keep an eye on, and let's just see, is it going to be a failed breakout attempt? Is it just going to reject outright? Any of those are possible scenarios at the initial resistance zone, and that's really the zone that's going to help us set the overall bias, at least on the day time frame today. So those are our main thoughts. Let's see if the sell side can hold ES below initial resistance, and we'll take it from there.